312. The verdict form is included thereafter. We, the jury, finds count 1, defendant Tracy Nix is guilty of aggravated manslaughter of a child, or the defendant Tracy Nix is guilty of manslaughter or lesser included offense on count 1, or Tracy Nix is not guilty. We, the jury, finds count 2, defendant Tracy Nix is guilty of leaving a child in a motor vehicle in excess of 15 minutes causing great bodily harm, or the defendant is guilty of leaving a child in a motor vehicle in excess of 15 minutes. The lesser included offense of count 1, or defendant Tracy Nix is not guilty. So say we all this blank day of January 2025, 4-person print name, single defendant, multiple counts, 312A, 313, submitting case to the jury. 4-1 and 4-2 are reserved for the appropriate times. Defense, you agree with these jury instructions subject to your prior objections?
I'm just looking, double checking before we go.
All right.
There's something on 3.12. I'm just not certain that I want to discuss.
Take your time. Can you have a separate verdict form, right, or do we need to make one? Did you give me a separate verdict form?
Your information that you requested?
Yeah. Okay. Let me look at the information. Let me look at the information in separate verdict form. Thank you. I apologize.
There's your information and a copy to go back to the jury. It has been redacted as far as level of degree.
Okay, so the information is in the Circuit Court, 10th Judicial Circuit, Hardee County, State versus Tracy Howard Nix, 22 CF 289. Aggravated manslaughter of a child, count 1. Brian Haas, State Attorney, bond through his undersigned Assistant State Attorney, charges Tracy Howard Nix on or about November 1, 2022, in the County of Hardee, in the State of Florida, willfully or by culpable negligence did fail or omit to provide urogenic shock a child with the care, supervision, and services necessary to maintain the child's physical and mental health that a prudent person would consider essential for the well-being of the child, and said Tracy Howard Nix was the child's parent, adult household member, or other person responsible for the child's welfare, and as a result of said culpable negligence, Tracy Howard Nix caused the death of urogenic shock and or caused great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement of urogenic shock, contrary to Florida Statute 782.07, 827.03. Count 2. Informant aforesaid under oath, further information makes that Tracy Howard Nix, on or about November 1, 2022, in the County of Hardee, in the State of Florida, being a parent, legal guardian, another person responsible for urogenic shock, a child younger than 6 years of age, did leave said child unattended or unsupervised in a motor vehicle for a period in excess of 15 minutes, and in doing so caused great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement to urogenic shock, contrary to Florida Statute 316.635. There's nothing telling what degree of felonies these are. They appear to be redacted. Do you agree, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there you go. And I need that goes back to the jury. Do I have a verdict form?
Yes, Your Honor. I also.
Okay.
There was one provided in the instructions, but
There's one. I'd like a separate one.
I did the separate one for you and the jury.
Hold on. All right, the verdict form is as I read it earlier. Could you please put a head clip on that, put it with the information? That'll go back to the jury.
And Your Honor, I have reviewed the verdict form and the defense accepts the verdict form. I have reviewed the jury instructions. There was one minor thing, and I think it was in 3.12 that I asked the state if they could correct because it appears to be an error.
What is it?
Your Honor, in the language, in the language as far as whether or not you can find someone guilty of various lessers, there are certain crimes in which you can be found guilty of multiple lessers, and that language was accidentally included in there. I have deleted it, I have printed it, I have someone from my office bringing it up. It'll be here before you start to read it.
Yeah, so basically it's a replace 312 with what you're going to get.
Exactly.
Okay. So do you want my clerk from Hardee to replace, or do you want to replace?
Whatever I'm assuming it's going to be brought up here momentarily, and I can do it, or the clerk will do it.
All right, clerk, you want to do it, or you want the state to replace? All right, state's going to replace. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, defense has reviewed the jury instructions. Other than the previously previous objections that we made, we find the jury instructions acceptable.
Thank you. On the back, second page. State, you gave us 2 front pages on the verdict form. Just give me the back page, please.
Oh, I apologize for that.
No problem. Give him back the front page. The paper clip that. It's in the package that way, but I like to give it separately. So for the record, state and defense, come on up here. And the bailiff, come over here. With the court report. Let me go ahead and have my copy of that. Give it to the defense. Sidebar. What do you think?
We'll get the jury. Oh, 1 second, Your Honor. Do you want me to replace these now?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna put them in. When you're done, you tell the bailiff and the bailiff will.
It'll only take a moment. Luckily, my person downstairs is incredibly fast. I see how you are. Deal. Excellent. Appreciate you.
For the record, I'm also going to read when I charge the jury, defense number 5, instruction.
Sorry, Your Honor. Yeah, I thought you saw. Yes, the state is The state has completed replacing the bench.
All right. Judge, you good? All right, let's bring the jury in. All right.